So you're looking to move to Charlotte, North Carolina, and you're looking for the best neighborhoods to raise your family. Well guys, you've come to the right place because today we're gonna review the 8 best neighborhoods here in Charlotte to raise a family. If you are new to the channel and want to know all there is to know about the Charlotte, North Carolina area, then make sure you click subscribe and turn notifications on. That way you'll be the first to know what's going on in our local Charlotte, North Carolina housing market. My name's Josh, team leader with the Finigan Group, powered by eXp Realty. And guys, every single day, myself and my team get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you looking to move to the Charlotte area. And I'll tell you, we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, text us, email us, or you can schedule a Zoom meeting so we can meet face to face. The link is just below. We'd love to learn more about what you're looking to accomplish and how we can help you make your move a smooth one. So as I mentioned earlier, today we're gonna review the 8 best neighborhoods here in Charlotte, North Carolina to raise a family in. And how are we gonna do this? We're gonna take a look at a list compiled by Niche.com. Niche.com takes a ton of different stats and information on the local areas, and they also get reviews from people that actually live in these neighborhoods. They take all that information and they actually put a ton of different rankings out for city of Charlotte, the areas around Charlotte, and all across the United States actually. So we're actually going to review the list today specifically about raising a family, right? Looking at the best neighborhoods to raise a family here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so as we go through this list, we will look at the grades, what Niche.com said, and I'll actually give you a little bit of my insight and market data on each of these particular neighborhoods. So guys, let's go ahead and jump on in. So let's start off with number 8, which is Beverly Woods. It's a highly sought after neighborhood here in the South Park area, which is about 8 miles south of Charlotte City Center. So Beverly Woods has a fantastic location and definitely has a lot of character. Most of these homes were built in the 1960s and 1970s. Now Niche.com gave Beverly Woods an overall rating of an A+. They give it an A- for public schools, which you have Beverly Woods Elementary School, Carmel Middle, and you also have South Mecklenburg High School. So actually gave it an A- for public schools. Now South Mecklenburg High School is not a bad high school, but there are some better ones in the area, just keep that in mind. They give it a B for housing, they give it an A+ for good for families, an A- for jobs, a C+ for cost of living, because if you're in South Park, you're paying a pretty penny to be there. A B+ for nightlife, which in my opinion, it should be a little bit higher because you are in South Park. There's a lot of great restaurants to go to in there, really good fine dining restaurants, and you're super close to uptown, so nightlife should be a little bit higher than that. But the neighborhood itself is pretty quiet and nice and kind of secluded, gives you that suburban feel. So that may be why they gave it a B+. Then they gave it a B+ for the commute. So Niche.com has the average sales price here is $609,000, and that's a little off, guys. I actually pulled data this morning, and the average sales price is actually closer to $747,000. 48 homes have sold in the past year, and they've ranged from $454,000 to $1.1 million. Before we get to number 7 on this list, I wanted to share some super exciting news. Our team just finished compiling a huge resource for you guys in the area. We have the Charlotte Relocation Guide. Gives you a ton of information on all the towns, suburbs, neighborhoods, schools. This is the perfect thing for you guys looking to relocate. So if you want our free Charlotte Relocation Guide, scan this QR code right here. It'll take you to the landing page to give you guys free access. So number 7 is a small community called Hembstead here in South Park, South Charlotte area. It's actually just above Providence Plantation. Another nice, quiet community with some really stately homes. You'll actually find yourself right in between some of the best golf courses in the Charlotte area. So Niche.com gave Hempstead an overall grade of an A+. They gave it an A- for housing options. They gave it an A+ for good for families. Obviously it's on this list, right? A for job, a B- for cost of living. They give it a B+ for nightlife. So you still have the access to pretty much anything in the Charlotte area, right? You have South Park you take advantage of, go to South End. For any conveniences, they have the Arboretum super close, so very easy to kind of pop in there, get some groceries, things like that. They give it a C+ for commute. It's a little hard to get around that kind of South Charlotte, South Park area sometimes, definitely with traffic, so that may be why it's a little bit lower on the grading scale. Niche.com has the average sales price at $655,000, which again is a bit off. We pulled that data and the average sales price last year was $880,000. Only 4 homes sold in the past year, and they ranged from $700,000 to $1.075 million. Number 6 on the list is Providence Crossing. Now this 288 home community is nestled right between the Providence Country Club and Waverly Shopping Center. Niche.com gave Providence Crossing an overall grade of an A+. They actually gave it an A for public schools, which actually goes to Audrey Cale High School, which is one of the most highly sought after schools here in Charlotte. They give it an A+ for good for families, obviously again on this list. They give an A for jobs, a B- for cost of living, a B- for outdoor activities, which I think should be a little bit higher because Providence Crossing isn't too far away from Ballantyne and Ballantyne Reimagined. You have the bowl, you have the amphitheater, you have the stream park, a lot of super cool things right in your backyard, right? They give it a B- for nightlife. Now, Waverly does have a lot of good restaurants and you are just right across the street from Waverly, so you're not gonna be that far away. It's a lot of really cool spots. It's kind of a walkable area as well. Definitely cool to check out. So give it a B- for nightlife, but you have Waverly right there. You have Ballantyne you can go check out, and South Park's still not that far away. And they give it a B- for commute, which it does have a really good location in terms of getting around the greater Charlotte area, because you are right off of Providence Road, which gives you super easy access to I-485. Which Niche.com said the average sales price is $533,000, which if you guys find a house in Providence Crossing for that price point, you better buy it quick because they're a little bit off. The average sales price last year was $890,000. And guys, number 5 on the list is actually still right here in South Charlotte. It's Providence Plantation. And guys, just so you know, most of these neighborhoods are gonna be kind of right in the same area. And the reason is schools, right? A lot of these neighborhoods find themselves going to some of the best rated schools in Charlotte itself. So Providence Plantation is actually one of my favorite neighborhoods here in Charlotte. We did a whole deep dive on Providence Plantation. I'll put a link up here and in the description below, but it's an amenity-rich neighborhood that consists of 1,400 homes. It's actually right above I-45, so it does give you super great access, and it's right in between Ballantyne and downtown Matthews, which gives you a lot of great options to do. You have a lot of restaurants, bars, different shops, and things like that. Niche.com gave Providence Plantation an overall grade of an A+. They gave it an A- for public schools, which Providence Plantation is zoned for Providence Spring Elementary, Crestdale Middle, and Providence High School, which are all highly sought after schools. So I'm surprised it just got an A- for that one. They gave it an A for housing options. Obviously gave it an A+ for good for families. Cost of living, they gave it a B-. They give it a B+ again for nightlife, but like I mentioned, you have downtown Matthews. You can go to Seaboard Brewery, grab a nice glass of wine, a nice craft brew on tap. You can go down to Ballantyne, check out the bowl, walk around, go visit Old Mecklenburg Brewery, get a nice cold beer. There's a lot of things you can do right in the area, or you can just go up to South Park, or you can go to Uptown, right? So you have a lot of different options when you call Providence Plantation your home. They gave it a B- for commute. Again, you are right by I-485, so you're gonna be able to get quick access anywhere you need in the Charlotte area. Niche.com had the average sales price of $586,000, and guys, I have no idea where they're getting their numbers from. The average sales price over the last year was $985,000. So the next two on the list we're actually gonna talk about together because they're Ballantyne West and Ballantyne East, right? So Ballantyne is split right down the middle by Johnson Road, right? So Ballantyne West is on the west side, Ballantyne East is on the east side. So Ballantyne West came in at 4 and Ballantyne East came in at 3. Now, I'm not a huge fan of how they classified these because it's not an actual neighborhood. It's an area made up of a few different neighborhoods, so it's not kind of similar to the ones we've been talking about, but we'll chat about them because it's on the list. So Ballantyne West tends to be the more suburban of the two, a little bit newer than Ballantyne East. These homes are a little bit more uniform. When you look at the neighborhoods themselves, they're on smaller lots as well. You'll also find more condos and townhomes on this side of Ballantyne when you compare it to Ballantyne East. Over here in Ballantyne West, you'll find neighborhoods like Providence Point and Ballantyne Meadows. You'll also find kind of a lot of the corporate buildings over near Torrington, and you'll find the Ballantyne Village, which has a lot of shops, restaurants, a good place to kind of walk around and grab a bite to eat. So Niche.com gave Ballantyne West an overall grade of an A+. They give it an A for schools, which is schools are very desired in this area. It goes to the Audrey Cale High School, which is one of the better high schools in Charlotte. They give it a B+ for housing, an A+ for good for families, an A- for jobs. Obviously, you have that corporate park right here in Ballantyne. A lot of jobs are in Ballantyne, so you can kind of live, work, and play all right here. But you can also get to Uptown pretty quickly, which you'll find a lot of the headquarters from some of the bigger companies there as well. So it gives you a lot of different options when you call Ballantyne West or East your home. They give it an A- for nightlife, an A for diversity, an A for health and fitness as well. And they did give it a B for commute, which for those of you who do live in Ballantyne, you know that the traffic is so horrible. You're battling traffic a lot. It's one of the more congested areas, but you do have a lot of main arteries. You are pretty close to Charlotte, so you can get to and from anything you want to go to in the Charlotte area when you call Ballantyne your home. Over the last year, 71 single-family homes have sold here in Ballantyne West and 121 condos and townhomes sold. Now, the average sales price for a single-family home was $1 million, and the average price point for a condo or a townhome was $391,000. So jumping over to Ballantyne East, this is where you're going to find a lot more custom homes sitting on larger lots and a little bit more unique architectural designs to them. Here in Ballantyne East, you'll find neighborhoods like Thornhill and the Ballantyne Country Club. Ballantyne East is also where you're going to find the Bowl, the amphitheater. You're also going to find the Ballantyne Hotel as well. So there's definitely a lot to do right here in Ballantyne East. But again, if you lived in Ballantyne West, it's just across the street. So Ballantyne East, Niche.com gave them an overall grade of an A+. They gave it an A for public schools, which I already mentioned the schools, goes to the same schools as Ballantyne West. You have a B+ for housing, A+ for good for families, an A for jobs, a C+ for cost of living, because cost of living will be a little bit higher on the east side than the west side, an A- for nightlife, and a B for commute. Niche.com said the average sales price is $548,000, but that's a little off, guys. The average sales price last year was just above $1 million. So coming up as number 2 on this list is Governor's Square, and it's actually one of the most popular neighborhoods here in the South Park area. You're gonna find the Governor's Square just to the south of Foxcroft and right down the road from Charlotte Country Day School. Niche.com gave Governor's Square an overall grade of an A+. They give it an A for public schools, which when you call Governor's Square your home, you'll have access to Sharon Elementary School, Alexander Graham Middle School, and Myers Park High School. They give it a B+ for nightlife, but again, you're right in South Park, so you have access to some of the most upscale shopping and dining here in the Charlotte area, and Uptown's not too far away. They give it a B- for commute because you are super close to Charlotte, but South Park sometimes is a little bit harder to get to and out of, just with all the traffic. They gave it an A- for housing, they gave it a B- for cost of living, and a B+ for outdoor activities. Now, over the last year here in Governor's Square, 13 homes sold, and the average sales price for those homes was $759,000. And guys, before we get to number 1 on this list, you definitely want to check out our Charlotte Relocation Guide. It's completely free for you. Our team compiled all this information to make your move to the Charlotte area super simple, super easy. So just scan this QR code right here, gives you all the insider information on the local communities, towns, and schools here in the Charlotte area so you can make the best decision for you and your family. And number 1 on this list is Provincetowne. Now guys, this is again in South Charlotte, about 20 miles south of Charlotte City Center, just south of I-485. So you're super close to Ballantyne, you're close to Waverly as well, and you're also close to South Park, so a really good location here. You're just 1 mile from Stonecrest Shopping Center, 2 miles from Blakely Shopping Center, and you're super close to Ballantyne, so there's definitely a lot to do right here in the area. The location is fantastic. You're also not that far away from South Park or Uptown, so there's a lot to do in this area. Now, Provincetowne mostly consists of brick ranches built in the 1980s, but you can find some more traditional 2-story homes as well. Now, Niche.com gave them an overall grade of an A+. They give it an A for public schools, an A- for housing, an A+ for good families, obviously it's number 1 on this list, right? An A for jobs, B- for cost of living, a B for outdoor activities, a B- for nightlife as well. So they definitely have a lot of really good marks for Provincetowne, which is why it came as number 1 on the list. Niche.com said the average sales price was $453,000, which they weren't super far off. The average sales price is $490,000, which is actually pretty attractively priced compared to a lot of the other communities that we mentioned on this list. And it's because a lot of these brick ranches are going to be a little bit smaller. So it's a really good neighborhood for some of you that are looking to kind of start your career, maybe a smaller family, maybe 1 or 2 kids, and you don't need that much space, and you don't have the budget to buy those really big homes. It's maybe a really good neighborhood for you to choose. And guys, there you have it. This is the 8 best neighborhoods here in Charlotte, North Carolina, specifically for raising a family. I'd love to hear your thoughts though. Do you guys live in one of these communities now? Have you lived in one of these communities previously? I'd love to hear from you, what you like, what you don't like, what you think Niche.com got right, what you think they may have got wrong. Comment below. And guys, if you did miss that QR code that we put up on the screen for that relocation guide, I'll put a link in the description below. Definitely check that out, completely free for you. It'll be your guide to everything you want to know about the Charlotte area. And if you are considering making a move, whether it be in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, text, email us, schedule a Zoom meeting using the link in the description below. We'd love to learn a little bit more about what you're looking to accomplish and how we can help make your move a smooth one. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you around town.